Raazu dives in, swims after them.
It's not your turn.
Oh.
Adrex, it's your turn. Right now you're grappled and restrained. These things are swimming down into the depths of the river. You can see Windy's torch in the distance in front of you. It doesn't feel like they're swimming exceptionally fast.
We still have the water breathing spell on, right?
Oh yeah, that's still up.
We have it for a day.
You have it all day. But it's your turn.
How? So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Humor me for a minute.
Sure.
They've grappled us, and we're restrained.
Yes.
Is there a way where Adrex could just outstrength them and turn them into a weapon? Like, grab him and then swing him with his body?
You could
Like,
break
run
the
them into
grapple.
something else.
The chance of you swinging... I mean, now that this thing's actually grabbed onto you, they don't feel like they've got any mass to them. They're just these squidgy... They don't have a lot of muscle mass. There's definitely no bones in this thing.
So I can't use them as, leverage.
No.
I can't...
But you can absolutely break the grapple with...
Alright, I want to try and do that, then.
Okay.
Do I do it at disadvantage?
No.
Oh,
It's either strength athletics or dex acrobatics.
I would, but you don't.
that is a 27.
A 27. Oh, I guess I should probably roll for him, shouldn't I? Okay, so I mean, you pull this thing's tentacle and it stretches and the thing gurgles in pain, but you manage to free yourself, kick yourself free of this thing. You're about 30 feet below the surface, and you can only swim 15 feet.
It's good, because I'm being shot above the surface anyway, so...
Being above the surface is bogus.
Staying put where you are?
Well, going after the light, because he doesn't want to be in the water in the dark, so...
Okay. If you swim after the light, you're going to be leaving this thing's threat range.
Ah.
If you swim down towards Windy, this thing's going to get his attack on you.
Nope. Can't.
Okay.
Can't let that happen. Okay.
Raazu,
Hey.
how you doing?
About to be cross-bolted.
I heard you love crossbow bolts.
Yeah.
Okay. I have...
Okay,
19.
Exhibit, let's go. Yeah.
Oh, these are some dog shit rolls.
I have a dog shit AC.
a 9
Okay, no.
and a 9.
No.
That was with advantage, by the way. Those are just... And you know I'm not lying. You know I wouldn't pull this punch.
Oh, no.
You save up those good rolls for me.
Yeah.
8 points of piercing damage. As one crossbow bolt hits you in the upper arm, you hear 2 more clatter against the side of this cave. And Red, you are headed down to Squidgeville.
What can I see with 60 feet of dark vision from where I am?
You can see the wall of the cave where you were standing a moment ago. You can see the opposite wall on the other side, which is about 25, maybe 30 feet away.
Okay.
You've been dragged about 30 feet under the water. Windy is another 30 feet ahead of you.
And how about Adrex?
Adrex is right next to you.
Okay.
It looks like he's managed to cut himself free, but the monster that he was fighting is still alive. And
Well, the one that is grabbing me can make that same DC 16 Constitution save.
okay, they're not good at these. How about a 13? 13 work?
No, but as a consolation prize, take 9 points of poison damage.
Okay.
Oh, they're immune to poison.
No, I killed one like this already.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, you fill this thing's face with poison, and the cloud of it that spreads around the water. You can see it's agitating this thing immensely. It is now bloody.
I'll give Adrex a bonus against the one you just escaped from as a minor action.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
And Raazu.
Raazu's going to dive in after her friends.
Okay. You can swim 15 feet. Water counts as difficult terrain for you.
Okay. Then I will double move to get down to where Adrex and Red are.
Okay. Now that everybody's underwater here, just to approximate things. We know Red is grappled. Adrex is not. Birdie, you're still grappled, yes?
Yes.
And Wendy's completely fine.
Windy is... you're still grappled and a little bit lower than them. And Raazu is a little bit higher than them. Does everybody see what I'm going for here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Well, you said they were 30 feet below the surface of the water.
I'm not actually measuring up the distances here, just for a quick approximation of where everybody is.
Well, I was taking the dash action so I can catch up to them down
Okay,
below.
so yeah, you get right up on these guys here.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Birdie, you're up.
I'm going to frantically stab at the tentacles that are holding me.
With the dagger?
Well, I have a short sword.
The short sword? Okay.
Let's see.
You do have disadvantage on this roll, so you cannot apply sneak attack.
Yeah, 14. 14.
14 does not hit. And it's difficult to get a good angle to poke this thing with your sword. You're like, usually this is so easy. And you're not moving anywhere. And now, all of you, up above you somewhere, you become aware of a loud noise that sounds like a ringing bell. It sounds very muted because you're 30 feet down in the water. But yeah, some kind of unnatural, very echoey sound that sounds like a bell up in the river. Wendy.
Alright, I'm gonna shoot at this Octoboy again.
Calling him Octoboy now.
I'll call him what I want. That's a 19.
19 will hit.
For 10 piercing damage, magical.
And you feel the thing's tentacles lose their grip. And it begins sinking down in the water beside you. You are no longer grappled or restrained.
Alright, I'll swim back 20 feet this direction.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take a shot at the one grappling Red.
Okay.
Still at disadvantage because I'm underwater.
There's like 5 reasons you have disadvantage right now. Just live with it.
Oh, that's a
Yep,
1.
there it is.
And your second arrow...
Up.
The good news is you'll be able to retrieve that one.
Yeah. It's going real slow.
All right.
I'll be able to get into melee with you next time, Red. Then I will
that's good.
no longer be at disadvantage.
Let's see if I can grab Raazu first.
Probably.
Yeah, Raazu, I've got a 24
Oh yeah.
and a 12.
Yep.
They both hit?
You made me take my armor off, so AC is butt.
I made you. Like, you'd prefer to be wearing heavy armor for this encounter? 5 points bludgeoning damage from both tentacles.
So 10 total.
So 10 total, and both grappled.
Yep.
Adrex.
They can grab. Ugh.
They've got 2 tentacles, each one.
So they're not an Octoboy, they're like a quarter boy.
Adrex, I've got a 7
Miss.
and a 6. From this one here.
Okay.
Nice.
Adrex, one more time.
Oh, come on.
I have another 7.
It's a miss.
So you have a decision to make now, Adrex. Because this one who's holding Birdie and Raazu, and this one who's holding Red are both going to swim downward, but you only have one reaction.
Isn't it my turn?
No,
oh,
it's
no,
still their
it's
turn.
not. It's still their turn.
Who do you love more?
Who do you think is more able to save themselves in this situation?
Well,
I'm your little dragon buddy. I just remember that.
here's the thing. This one's holding 2 of you. This one's holding 1 of you.
Hmm.
And by sheer numbers, it would be more effective to hit this one.
That's fine. I got red.
Although this
No,
one
I'm
looks,
not worried at
This
all.
one looks severely bloodied if that factors into it, whereas this one does not.
Yeah, that actually might.
I've got red's back.
Red is
Red's
holding
back.
his own pretty well in this combat,
All right,
honestly.
then, yeah, smash, smash,
Okay,
smash.
smash him.
Bite him.
I'm not grappled, so I don't do it at disadvantage, right?
That is correct.
Piercing
you,
weapon, short sword.
You are in
Yeah.
darkness though, so
No, is Windy close enough yet?
Windy's still about 15.
Oh. Yeah,
So
no,
that's
30
20
feet.
feet. 20 feet dim light.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You are at a -2.
You do have dim light, so yeah, it's partially obscured, but you're not blind.
Oh.
Dick move game. Dick move.
I got a blip.
Not anymore. You
I
don't.
think- you know this is 2 blips to reroll into that 4.
Oh.
Oh,
that was
poor
a good use of 2
McDohl.
blips.
Poor McDohl.
He's got other attacks though. He'll be fine. His second attack will go much better.
Wait, that was his turn? I thought it was reaction.
That was
That's
a
my reaction.
Oh, that was a reaction. That's right.
That's why I blipped it.
Ah,
Yeah, because on his turn, you could just action surged.
now it's your turn though, Adrex. These two both disappear 30 feet down. So they're both also going to pass through Windy's threat range as they dive down.
I'll take a swing at the one that looks bloodied.
Okay.
Now I'm not at disadvantage. Melee attacks.
Nodal, teach me your ways.
Oh wait, no, I'm using a longsword. I can use the big die.
So Nodal can roll dice, but he can never remember anybody's name. That's what he
No,
gave up.
nobody's.
On his like celestial character sheet. That's what he traded off
That's 8 slashing damage, magical.
to the one holding
On the
red.
one pulling a red. Yeah.
Okay, and that one dies. Red, you are no longer grappled or restrained.
Hey, you end up 5 feet next to Windy. Hey, Red.
You
Yeah,
have
the other
advantage still on that one next to you, though, Atrix.
I do, yes.
Now it's Adrix's turn. This one is diving downward, holding both of your friends.
Yeah, but I can't reach them. Right.
You see
Both of
Birdie's
you guys,
sad
both of
face.
you guys have dark vision. Birdie and Raazu, you're starting to look down into the depths as you go past Windy, and the light from her torch begins to fade as you're swimming past through it. You realize you see motion below you. Many, many more tentacles reaching up towards you.
Oh no.
Still a good distance away. This is at the edge of your dark vision, so maybe 50 or 60 feet. But it doesn't look friendly if you make it all the way down. Adrix, what are you doing about this?
Like, I can't reach them. That's, like, they're too far away at this point.
No, they swim twice as fast as...
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the one I have advantage on.
Okay.
That is a 19.
That'll hit.
Alright. That's 7 damage.
For 7 damage. And you have bloodied him. So you lash
Alright,
out
I'm
with your
gonna-
sword. You gonna finish him off now? Can you be the guy?
Yes. For an additional 5.
5. What kind of attack was that?
That was pushing attack.
Pushing attack, so he gets to make what kind of save?
A strength saving throw.
9.
Nope.
Now,
I push him 15 feet towards the surface.
so you're lunging him upwards?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's rude.
And are you swimming anywhere, or are you staying put there? Swimming after him?
Yeah.
All right.
Do you just move people compulsively and then go, ah, shit?
All the time. All the time. But also the surface, so. Alright.
Adrex.
What? I'm not done with my turn.
Oh, okay.
I'm not done with my
I
turn.
didn't mean to step on your
Pump
toes.
the brakes there, buddy.
Okay.
I have
They're-
a
they're
second attack
pumped.
first.
Yeah, and then these assholes.
And then he has a sword.
God.
Short sword.
Fucking damn it.
Any good?
No, but I've got. No, I can't use my left-handed reaction because I've burned my reaction, right?
Yes. Well, you get it back at the
Um,
beginning of your turn.
My beginning, yeah.
So you
So,
do have a reaction at the moment.
so I'm gonna Third attack.
How are you using your reaction to gain a third attack?
That's what my offhand weapon is.
That's a bonus action, not a reaction.
Is it? You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But you still have your bonus action, so you're good.
I do still have my bonus action. But 22.
22 will hit.
All right. 11 damage.
11 damage, and that's the end of him.
Now,
Now you may fill him with arrows.
still not done.
Okay.
Who needs hit points?
I'm actually pretty much good.
I'm not in that bad shape.
Raazu's
Not a bad
not
shape.
in shape either.
Like, I'm not great.
I think
but-
Birdie got wrecked.
Birdie? Can Birdie hear me? Is the other thing.
I'm going to say nobody can hear you in the
No,
water.
nobody can hear me?
Nobody can hear you.
Well, then you know what? I'm just going to hold on to that die.
Any sound that you'd be capable of making right now would be getting drowned out by this muted
Got it.
bell that you're hearing.
Okay. Alright.
Adrex.
Second. No, I'm not done!
My God!
I'm not done!
Do I ever get to
Action
go
surge.
again? It's
No! Action
No.
surge!
Alright, start the ride again. Let's go.
So, swim back down.
Okay.
Hey, Adrex.
What's up?
Adrex.
I'm going to second wind. 'Cause
Okay.
I really need hit points. So,
Adrex.
oh, that's great. So 9 plus 6 is 15 hit points. Thank Christ.
You're underwater. It's more of a second wave.
I gotta stop doing that though. Alright, there we go. Alright, I will now permit you to go.
Okay. I have a 5.
It's a miss.
I have an 11.
That hits.
And I have a 12.
That hits.
Now you may fill him with arrows.
Yeah.
It's actually going to be a 9 and a 10, not an 11 and a 12.
Miss hit.
9 misses.
So okay. 5 points, piercing damage, as crossbow bolts come down at Adrex. The first 2 just go completely wide, but the third one grazes you across the side of your neck. All right, Red. I don't get to take 90 actions with these monsters.
So since God, what am I thinking here?
Raazu Birdie.
Yeah, since Raazu is here with her halberd in 10 feet of reach, if I swim up to this guy, can I sneak attack him?
As long as you don't have disadvantage on this roll.
Alright, so 15 feet of swimming, bonus action to dash, and then pull out the short sword and stab him.
Okay,
That little armor class is 17.
that'll hit.
Do your murder on him.
Use
Use your
some
violence.
No, use any violence. We need to say some violence.
Ooh.
Whoever's throwing us.
That'll only deal 16 damage.
And I mean, you're using a dagger,
Short sword, silvered.
and I mean, you put your short sword right through this thing's brain, and there's just no resistance. It's just like putting it through a pad of butter. There's no bone, there's no muscle matter. Not even sure there's any brain, but as soon as you pierce through this thing's head, I mean, its reach on your companions goes slack, and it starts to sink. Down to where you can also see these tentacles reaching up from below.
Raazu
That was
gestures
all
upward.
of Red's actions.
Okay. What is the party's next goal?
Stab whoever is shooting crossbow bolts at Adrex.
We're at a
Oh, yeah.
severe disadvantage trying to get out of this. Get away.
I say we stay underwater, not quite to the tentacles, and then we just go down the river a bit to where they can't see us anymore.
Seems logical.
I was going to suggest the same thing.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yep.
How far underwater do you stay? Right now, you guys are. I mean, it varies, but between like 30 and 50 feet, depending on. How
I say like 20 feet up from the tentacles.
Okay.
We should be 70 feet under the surface of the water, so no one on the surface with normal range dark vision can see us.
That
That
sounds
sounds
like
complicated.
And when you're that deep, I mean, the ringing of this, whatever this sound is above you, it's so muted and faded now that you can scarcely hear it. Who's taking the lead on this endeavor? You guys are not going to be able to communicate because none of you can talk underwater. And the one person who could do that gave up the spell.
I could speak with him. We know thieves can't. We can.
You're underwater. You can't talk. That's the problem.
I thought it was hand signals.
Partially,
As well.
but it's still a language.
We can do
Sorry.
like seal movements. Point.
So, Raazu, you're taking point. You're in front.
Yeah.
What's Razu's passive perception?
I'll be directly
11.
behind Raazu.
Okay.
Let me be in the back then. I don't want Adrex to get.
I would take point, but Raazu seems upset.
I like how Raazu keeps moving even after I asked what her passive perception was.
Oh, sorry. It's an 11.
11?
I thought you'd heard that. I guess my
No.
microphone's doing its thing again.
Well, you should
Sorry.
just turn off the microphone, just open your window and yell it really loud. I'll hear you.
Okay.
Raazu,
Hey.
5 points of slashing damage.
Ow.
You make it this far, swimming forward, until you feel like you just come to an abrupt stop, and you feel cuts and scrapes all over your body, your face, your arms, and you realize you're tangled up in this net that you didn't even see. You're currently restrained. And Wendy, you see this happen. Raazu tries to swim forward and becomes just hopelessly entangled in this net. And now that she's caught, you can look and see... Well, your passive perception is probably better than hers, yes?
It's 17.
Oh, I mean, yeah. As soon as she gets caught, you immediately see the strands of this net. It looks like it's made out of... it's not made out of the standard rope like a typical net is. And you can see the stitching has what looks like tiny razors or hooks all over the place. And in some places you can see gibbets of flesh or meat hanging from them. And your hobgoblin is also hanging from them.
I'm gonna try to slice through the net to free Raazu.
Using
My longsword.
longsword, and effortlessly you take the longsword and you start cutting the net around Raazu. And after a few moments, Raazu, you free yourself from it. And you see where
And I
the
kind
hole
of-
is now.
Very gently push Raazu a little bit behind me and start taking the lead.
Okay.
Do we have a gap through the net now?
Yes.
A Raazu size gap.
Raazu's size gap, yeah. It's a pretty big gap.
Might actually have to be a little bigger for Wendy's wings anyway.
All right, and what's next?
I say we get far enough, like maybe around like here or here, we would be far enough to assume that the people can't see us anymore.
When you get about to where Wendy is now, you're deep enough that you can see now the bottom of the river. You see this steeply graded slope of earth or gravel or something at this point where your feet could touch down at the depth you're swimming.
Is there
And I'm gonna motion for them to stay down for a moment,
Okay.
and then I'm going to try to surface and see if anything shoots at me.
So, okay, when you surface, you see first of all, the source of this gravel. You see where this bridge has been built across the river just by dumping rocks and earth and whatnot into it that caused the steep grade that you discovered. You see the edges of the cave on either side and the path on either side opening. Back behind you, where you pass, you see another one of those like pontoon docks floating that's been spiked in place. There's not actually a boat lashed to it, but
Yeah.
that's right here. On top of this gravel path or walkway, you see where wooden boards have been laid out to kind of press it down. You no longer hear the sound of the bell. Off in the... and that's it. You've only got a 20-foot radius around you.
Yep. Alright, I'm gonna dive back down since nothing shot at me immediately. I'm pretty visible.
Okay.
And go get the others.
Raazu gestures up as in to imply that she wants to surface.
Yep, and I wave my hand. Come on.
All right.
Where are you guys? On this side here?
Let's see right here.
Okay. You pull yourselves up. Those of you with dark vision, you can see this wooden palisade over here. It's about 5 foot tall, made mostly of just wooden spikes that have been pressed into the ground and held in place by mud and rocks, and it looks pretty sturdy. And you can see where strategic holes exist in this palisade. This would make a really good firing line.
Raazu looks to Adrex and says, "Armor."
You see another palisade built up on a high ledge up here. A similar looking one with spikes, and again, would be a perfect firing line.
Armor, yeah.
This looks to be about 20 feet above you, this ledge here.
All right, I'm gonna try to fly up there, behind the palisade.
Okay, let's
Let's get some more initiative because someone can't wait for us to.
I don't want them to get the drop on us
Nah,
from
we'll
behind
keep-
the palisade where
we'll
we can't
keep
see
this-
them.
We'll keep this same initiative. Okay. Windy. Let me count here.
Yeah.
You can only stop so many arrows.
All right.
That sounds like a challenge.
I have a 9.
Nah,
I have a 10.
nah,
I have a 15.
nah,
I have a 16.
nah.
I have a 21.
That one will hit.
I have a 22.
That one will hit.
And I have a critical hit.
All right.
First, bolts.
Yep.
Oh, actually, let me make sure these are bolts and not something more horrible. They're probably bolts. I mean, you're probably fine. Oh, no. The critical was not a bolt. Okay, so crossbolts come flying at you as you level this palisade. One of the things that come flying at you is what looks like a spear with a rope attached to it, and it's flying with exceptional speed and strength.
Yeah, that
misses
sounds
you.
awful.
First crossbow bolt
Yeah.
is going to be 3 points piercing damage,
Okay.
and there's 2 crossbow bolts and the spear. Yeah, 3 on the second crossbow bolt.
Yep.
16 points from the spear.
I'm gonna deflect that.
Okay, how much of it can you deflect?
I can deflect. Do I have to roll for this? No, I can deflect all of that without rolling.
You can deflect all of that without rolling?
Yep. No, sorry. Let me roll. How much was that? 16? Yeah, I can deflect all of that.
Okay, make a strength check.
Okay. That's a 8.
An 8?
I'm rolling at disadvantage because I still have that point of exhaustion.
Oh. No, you took a short rest since then.
Oh, that's 17.
Okay, 17. Here's what happens. First of all, a whole line of... Let me get the right colors here. I'll go ahead and give you this area here. Okay. Making sure that usually when I do big groups like this, I have it on my map where they actually start out, and that happened, but then you guys went and triggered their alarm, so I moved some around. One guy in the back. So a whole gaggle of kobolds with very dark brown scales and white milky eyes. These 4 all loose crossbow bolts at you as you come up the 20 feet and are flying up towards you. These 2 have what look like shoulder-mounted harpoon guns. The one goes wide, just past you, just by sheer luck of the draw. The other one, though, you brace for it, you grab it out of the air, And immediately you feel them tug on their end of the rope. These kobolds lash together, all pulling at you. Fortunately, you're stronger than the combined efforts of about 6 of these kobolds. If you continue to hold on to this harpoon, they're going to drag you towards the wooden palisade.
So I'm actually going to tap Wendy's whatchamacallit background.
Okay, I'm going to put you over here, because they would have shot at you before you came up over the wall.
And when they tug on it, I'm going to spend a key point to kind of flip it in my hand, let them tug, and toss it back at them.
So who are you throwing it at? You've got these guys here, have the devices that shot the harpoons at you. You see on the ground next to them, they have several more of these. These guys here look like regular rank and file kobolds armed with crossbolts. The guy in the back, he's no bigger than the other kobolds, but he's behind a shield that's as big as he is.
Yeah, I'm going to toss it back at this guy right here.
All right.
The one who shot the thing at me.
Let's see it.
Nah, I'm keep pointing that. Nah.
Wait, keep pointing it?
Yeah, you know what I mean. That's a 21?
21? Okay, roll damage on it.
Yeah. Well, I can't. I don't know what it is.
It's a D8.
Alright, that is 12.
And you just
Piercing.
pitch this guy's harpoon back through its face and goes straight through the top of his head. And he falls over backwards with his brains splattered across the ground. He is no more.
And then I'm going to take a shot at this one with my longbow.
Oh, it's not actually your turn at the moment.
It super is. I moved.
Huh?
This was all reaction, I thought. It's fine. You're the DM. I just thought that this was
you don't
all.
get turns anymore.
Yeah. I was misinterpreting what was happening.
Well, they all had held actions, which you're
Yeah, that's what I thought that
came in
was.
on your initiative. So who are you shooting?
I'm gonna shoot this purple one.
The purple one.
Yeah.
Do
Purple boy.
Uh, 11.
11. Not good enough.
I'll try that again. 14.
14 will do it.
That's a 11 piercing damage.
Okay.
Magical.
And he is also dead.
Then I'm going to land next to this one. Flurry of blows.
Okay, so you're landing on top of the palisade, like on top of it?
Sure, that sounds rad.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw.
Alright. That's a 21.
As you land on it, that section of the palisade crumbles away beneath your feet, throwing off your balance. Which way would you like to fall?
Take that, Palisade.
Okay.
That was intentional.
Now you can go ahead and attack that guy.
Alright, that's a 17.
That'll hit.
For 8 slashing damage.
And I mean, he's just a kobold. That's way too much damage.
Yeah. Clear Pose is a bitch. Adrex wants to make 15 shots. I will too. That's a 12.
12, that also hit.
What
That's a
is he gonna
6
decide?
apparently. So that's 10 slashing.
Okay. Birdie, you've got to be feeling bad for your kinfolk right now.
I don't really care.
What's
I don't
next?
care.
I'm going to hop back down because I don't have any more key points to dodge.
Just run up,
So you're going to
punch them
retreat,
all, and then
drop down?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you just jumping down the 20 feet or are you flying down?
I'm dropping down the 20 feet.
Okay. Windy.
Yep.
Okay, let me save my scratch file here. Okay, Windy, I need you to make a Oh, actually, make me nothing. Don't make me anything. I'll give you.
You got it.
I'll give you a little bit more of this hallway though. How's that sound?
I mean, that sounds terrible. Because I bet you're about to spawn something there.
I don't have any more green guys. I guess I could put the rest of my guys on the map now though, or on the initiative order. Adrex.
Yeah, what?
Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave these guys on there just in case you guys are dumb enough to go back down in the river. It is Adrex's turn. So you just watched Windy fly up there. These harpoons come flying at her. She whips one back. I mean, you heard everything.
And let's don the armor.
Okay.
It's going to take a couple
That'll
rounds to do.
Actually takes a couple minutes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna take like 30 rounds to do that, Atrix.
Damn it.
That's why I didn't wait for you guys to put on armor.
God, alright. And it's 20 feet up?
It's a 20-foot
there's,
climb
like-
up to the base of the
there's-
palisade, and the palisade itself is about 5 or 6 feet high.
Yeah, and it's covered in spikes and shit.
It's mostly made of wooden spikes, yes.
There's a nice missing bit right here.
Now we do nothing. Alright. I went from doing everything in a turn to doing nothing in it.
So staying at the base of the wall there?
I gotta... Let me make doubly sure. I'm going to drink a... Oh. No, I'm not drinking it. No, I got a potion of healing. I will drink it.
Okay.
Potion of healing is 2d4 plus 1 or something?
Plus 2. 2d4 plus
2.
2.
So 6 HP. Woo!
It's better than a sharp stick in the eye.
It would that would be about the damage of a sharp stick in the eye.
Alright, I'm good. I'm done. I promise. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, I bet.
Adrex.
Oh, come on!
I have a 7
It's a miss.
and a 19.
That hits.
3 points, piercing damage, as some kobolds loose some bolts through the palisade down where you're standing at the side of the cliff, and then you hear them scamper away.
Jerks!
Red, what's good with you?
Let's go ahead and move to here. What can I see with dark vision from here?
Let me consult my map here. You see where the passageway starts opening up. Let me just move all of these dice out the way. You see giant dice laying in the middle of the cave. Yeah, you see where the pathway opens up considerably and starts branching off in different directions. At the very edge of your vision, you can also see another cliff with a palisade built on it.
And I will motion for everyone else to move back towards the shoreline. Move to there, cunning action, hide.
Now, are you climbing up or are you just putting
No,
yourself
I'm
against the
ducking
wall?
behind the wall there.
Okay,
That's 13 on stealth.
13 on stealth.
Yep.
What is Raazu doing?
Raazu pins herself up against the wall with Adrex.
Okay. I mean, you just saw Adrex do that and then get shot.
Not much better choice
I'm fine with
right
that.
now.
What about Birdie?
Did I see that they were kobolds? Like, did I see them?
But no, you didn't see that they were kobolds. But I mean, you have a
Okay.
pretty good idea because they're using exactly the kind of tactics you would use in this situation.
Saw Kobold side sprays of blood.
Stop.
Oh, I was gonna go here, but okay.
Okay. You can go there. That's fine. You sure you want to go there?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Wand of lightning.
Don't say I didn't warn you. What are you doing?
I was going to scamper up the side here, the empty spot.
Okay, so you need 40 feet of move to get up that wall.
Oh, by the way, I meant to say it, but I used cunning action dash.
Okay. If you have 40 feet of movement left, you can get up that wall.
Let's see. Hold on. This is 1. I don't. I just have 30 feet.
You can get part of the way up the wall, but not all the way up.
Okay, I'll climb up the wall and cling.
Okay, make
Climb up,
a strength check.
Okay. These always go well. 15.
15. All right. So you climb part of the way up the wall, and your hands are starting to strain, but you think you can make it the rest of the way up next turn.
It went well.
Windy.
Alright. I'm going to move a couple paces to the north, so to get the room I need for a flying start,
Okay.
and then pop back up here to see if they're still up here.
No, you don't see any sign of them now. I mean, you see the harpoon guns. Actually, no, you don't see the harpoon guns laying on the ground. Just the spent ones.
Alright. And I'm going to put myself here and watch to see if any of them come around.
Okay.
I'm going to do a stealth check myself.
Make this a disadvantage because you're holding that torch.
You got it.
Not
That's a
bad.
21.
21.
Remember to throw your arm over.
Is everybody going to climb up here and explore from this direction? Is that the idea?
I think we could, from like our defensible positions, I think we could guard you guys long enough to get your armor on if that's what you want
Yeah,
to
I
do.
mean,
It's
Red's
gonna take-
idea was to hang back for a little bit to let you guys get back on your feet.
Okay. Where are you regrouping? At the bottom of the wall or up top where Windy is?
I'd say up top.
Ideally up top, yeah.
Okay. Birdie clambers the rest of the way up. Adrex and Raazu come up behind.
And Wendy's gone.
Mysteriously. So, question: did they leave their little crossbows behind? Because I would really.
No,
Oh,
but you see the two spent harpoon guns.
could they be
So-
rewound and then reused?
I mean, looking at these things, well, how long are you spending examining these objects?
I mean, as long as we're sitting here waiting for them to.
Okay. So they're
It's going to take 10 minutes.
One of them's halfway through a kobold.
I mean, I could get Windy to help me. Look at the.
First of all,
Wendy's not even
before
here.
we get to the harpoon gun, first of all, here's the problem, Birdie. You're in Kobold territory now. And every step that you take in this place is potentially dangerous because kobolds build traps friggin' everywhere. It's going to require active perception checks to determine where these traps are and what they're capable of doing. So that's the first thing.
What does that mean mechanics-wise? Because
That-
normally you make us pick a square, and that sounds terrible.
In combat, instead, like you can take your action to make a perception check to try to find traps around you.
So, since I am a kobold, I know like. Okay, never mind.
You get
we'll
no
come to that
bonuses
later.
from being a kobold.
No, I was like, there was another thing I was going to do, but we'll come to that bridge if it pops up. So,
Kobold.
I
This
won't bog you
harpoon gun, it looks like a very nice piece of engineering, but you're not sure exactly how it works. Like you coil the rope back up around the spear and you slide it back down to the chute and you find the triggering mechanism, but you can't get it to fire again. Over the course of a long rest, you might be able to figure it out. But this thing is exceedingly heavy. It's very heavy. It's shoulder mounted for you. Like you've got to pick it up. It's two-handed. It's difficult to aim. It's going to take a minute to actually figure out how it works, and then second of all, gaining the proficiency to use it in combat. But it still looks functional.
Birdie throws it at Adrex and tells him to hold this. Like while he's putting his armor on.
Putting my armor on. Hello?
You get smacked in the stomach by this harpoon gun when you're like trying to strap your armor into place.
And then Birdie like spend the rest of the time just walking around and poking the ground for traps. pitfalls, that kind of thing.
So go ahead and make the perception check. Make it at advantage because you're doing this over the course of several minutes while they're finishing up with their armor.
You said perception, so that'd be...
Yes.
That is a 21.
21. Poking around. So how far do you go from this area you're in? Like, are you climbing back down?
No, like, I won't go any further than this.
Any further than this? You're
Yeah.
pretty sure, prodding around with your knife, you're pretty sure you hear a hollow tapping sound under the dust. And you're pretty sure that this area here is pressure sensitive. Examining it, you see enough room where you could comfortably sidle along the side of either wall, but none of your companions would be able to. They would have to jump over this area. As to what will happen if you trigger this trap, only one way to find out.
I grab the other harpoon gun and throw it on the pressure sensitive thing.
And throw it on the thing.
Yeah.
I'll say you can throw this thing about 10 feet.
Can I? Well, if I just wait, can I get somebody stronger to throw it?
Do you think anyone else is going to want to throw it?
Not particularly, no.
Everybody else says that's a terrible idea, Birdie.
Well,
I
I'm
wanna
not
just
telling,
jump
okay,
the
fine.
pit.
I'm not telling them that I'm doing this. I'm just doing it.
That's why I was just asking the question.
Okay, yeah, no, okay. I'll just pick it up, quietly walk over and chunk it on the pressure sensitive thing.
Okay. And you hear a loud hissing sound as, let me erase this stuff here. Gas erupts from the sides of the wall and partially from the floor, and this just cloud of horrible black smoke fills up this passageway. And just the distance you're standing, this acrid smoke is really irritating your breathing passages. You're sure being in that range or walking through it would be very unpleasant.
Cause listen, let's be real. Either Adrex or Raazu would have tripped that trap.
That's probably true. So yeah, Birdie comes back and says, "Guys, I'm just gonna live here now. I'm moving in. I found my
This is
people."
my mecca.
And yeah, you guys get your armor put on, and it's time to think about your next move.
Yay!
I'm assuming this shoulder-mounted harpoon gun is of trivial weight to Adrex.
No, absolutely not. It's about the weight of maybe a heavy crossbow or something. It's big, it's
Okay.
bulky. You can carry it with no difficulty, but it's definitely not trivial.
I mean,
Okay.
It's like the amount of weight you lost when you lost your brewer's kit.
Oh.
Probably a little less than that because he does not having to carry this like huge glass decanter. But
how cool would it be that, like, instead of throwing axes, right, you just shoot people out of the sky with a giant harpoon gun?
And Adrex just plops the thing on.
Yeah, that worked out real well for the last person who tried that.
And once they have their armor on and they're talking, I'll climb up after them. I've spent that time waiting down there, making sure no one was coming through that passage.
no, nobody did. And in fact, except for just the sound of the water kind of sloshing echoingly along the side, dead silent. All of a sudden.
In fact, Adrex probably uses a little too much force putting it on Birdie's shoulders and helps him strap the straps or whatever just a little too tight.
Fine,
There you
I'll
go,
carry it on
buddy.
my back.
All right, Birdie, what do the kobolds down here, do you think they talk?
I don't know.
What about those water things?
Birdie shrugs at him and then turns to the where the kobolds ran off to and starts yelling very explicit remarks, like just every curse word he knows. He slips in a couple of like words in Elvish in there just because that he learned from Adrex, the curse words.
And I mean, the sounds of your shouts echo out through the caves, and the ringing subsides, and silence once again.
He turns back to Red and just shrugs.
I mean, what languages would they speak? I guess was more what I was asking.
Kobold.
Draconic, possibly bad Draconic, and I don't know, maybe undercommon.
Yipping.
Yipping.
I-
Does anybody
I
in this
thi-
group actually speak Undercommon?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I do think that Kobold is actually called Yip Yip.
I think you're right, actually. I feel like I've read that in one of the old 3E supplements.
I think it's actually called Yip Yip.
So here's the situation.
Actually, Kirkroad, can I use that? I haven't used the free rando that we have. Can I take Undercommon as that?
Yeah, if you still haven't used your free rando language I gave everybody.
Nope. There it is.
Here's the situation, you guys. You are ass deep in Kobold Hell. The path back is blocked with horrible tentacle monsters. And you haven't even made it to the Underdark yet. And this is the situation we will be in when we pick up next week. Unrelated to any of this, have any of you ever read the story of Tucker's Kobolds?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna get me a crossbow is what I'm gonna do.
So, I couldn't help myself. You guys know I couldn't help myself, and I did have to put a monster from the new Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes.
Of course you did.
So I used those. They're called chokers. They're like green,
Oh yeah, that's what I thought they were.
they're green tentacle men. I actually made them a little less dangerous because I wanted to use a big pack of them, but they're each supposed to be able to get once per battle an extra action on their turn, which means 2 uses a multi-attack. They're supposed to deal slashing in addition to bludgeoning damage with their tentacles.
Yeah. No, chokers are infamous in 3E where they were introduced because the poor wording of the polymorph spell and the fact that chokers have an innate haste meant that wizards could polymorph into chokers and then have innate haste.
That sounds like some dumb NetHack shit right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's pretty dumb.
Now, on page, I think it's 203 of Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, I now officially have a 5e stat block for my favorite of the humanoid races, the GIF.
The GIF.
The Spelljammer hippo people who wield gunpowder weapons.
Blunderbusses and shit. Yeah.
Crazy stuff like that's why I really liked Spelljammer.
Someone had to have been high when they were coming up with Spelljammer.
Ain't no rule that says I can't throw a bullet back at someone.
I didn't have any Spelljammer material, but the GIF were in the 2nd edition monster manual.
Yep.
So I used them as like mercenary groups in my campaign, and we all fell in love with the GIF. This might be the one page in this book that is actually very, very useful for this campaign, because I think the GIF are very thematically appropriate for for Flumph of the Wild.
Are they going to be the Deshaun mercenaries?
The Deshaun mercenaries? I don't know. We'll have to see.
I mean, we ran into a GIF captain in Planescape.
I
Did
do
you?
have,
We did.
I do have
Nick was
one
telling me a
legitimate
story
question.
about the GIF in his campaign, and this was because he has introduced Riot as a shitty NPC who causes hell in his campaign.
Nice.
Nice.
And he mentioned that she had a GIF helmsman, and I said, I didn't know what the heck he was talking about, so I assumed that Riot had gotten so innately Sigillian that she now just pronounced GIF as GIF.
Okay, so I do have like an actual question because every other time I have identified a scroll, you gave us the rune for it, and you did not give us the runes for those two. Was that intentional, or did you forget?
It wasn't not intentional. No, I can cook up the runes for those. In fact, I'm going to go dark for a second while I
Okay.
add up some experience and things here. And yes, I will make you the runes for those.
Okay.
So you guys think about where you want your blips to go. I'll be back in about 5 minutes or so.
Okay, let me put this harpoon gun on my inventory list since Adrex won't carry it for me.
So, who was the most creative today?
I thought it was pretty creative that when stuck underwater, Destil just spat poison in those guys' eyes.
Like, I will give him the creative blip for remembering he had poison, because I sure as heck didn't remember he had poison. Because, like you said, that's the first time he's used it the entire campaign.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Who furthered the party's goals today?
Let's see.
I thought it was neat how Destil kept giving me all that advantage.
He did. He also.
He used a lot of help action.
He did.
Yeah, he
Actually.
did.
Who was the badass today?
I thought it was pretty badass that Destil.
The way
Was
he
the-
stood, he was on guard while everyone else was getting their shit together up on the cliff, like a
that's
badass
true.
would
Like
do.
a badass would do.
Like a total badass would do.
And
Mhm.
how is
I'm
Destil
gonna solo any problem that might come up.
Yep.
How intangible
You
was
go-
Destil today?
You go.
I thought it was pretty intangible. How Destil.
And that's it. That's it.
Needs experience. Okay, so
Yeah, there we go. So that's 1,200.
The reasoning is pretty intangible for Destil. But
Yes.
I mean, I'm just gonna say I didn't have anything to do with this when he comes back, so because I didn't.
I am not letting you stay one level behind the rest of us.
yeah,
unacceptable.
that's hot garbage there.
I'll be right back. I gotta use the restroom.
So blips to 300. Does with 1,200 experience? Does that put you over?
Nope. I was 2,200.
Be right back. I'm gonna go vote for Destil in the.
Did he make
Yeah.
the-
Yeah, let's stuff the ballot box a bit here.
Oh, he didn't put up a poll. God
You knew what we were gonna do.
Brick Road, criminal.
Smooth
So
criminal.
chat, level with me. You guys are just gonna vote for Destil, right?
Let's go for badass for freeing half of you guys from those chokers.
That is
I think
true.
I actually did pretty okay there. Just so this is actually legitimate, and let's go with creative for.
I don't think you did anything more creative than that poison, buddy.
You mean read my character sheet?
That's pretty creative in this party.
Yep.
Thinking outside the box.
By thinking inside the box.
So is anybody else excited about this dungeon? Because I actually.
Never. I'm never excited about any dungeon he comes.
I guess that's the difference between somebody who's been through this 2 other times and me.
I like this Dragon magazine. When I say they were mean, I mean they were bad, Jim. They graduated magna cum laude from the Sauron Institute for the Criminally Vicious.
Gonna turn every trap in this place against the people who made it.
I'm going to trigger every single one we come across. I just want you all to know that.
We're gonna all stand about 20 to 30 feet behind Birdie.
Could we maybe consider disarming a few of them and salvaging them for parts?
Ooh, that's a good idea, actually.
See, if I say that, maybe he'll be a little bit less aggressive about triggering them.
No,
And
yeah, I
nobody's-
think that was good party management.
And we'll know what he was doing because he'll pull out his thieves' tools, so we'll know.
Helping the
where
party's
traps are.
goals. Came up with a good reason for Birdie not to spring all these traps.
Listen, the last time I tried to disarm a trap with my thieves' tools, we ended up having to spend half the adventure speaking in slow motion. So,
That was alright. I enjoyed that.
Well, that's where you guys got all the EXP, I think, was that one.
Alright, stop
Yeah.
moving dice and stuff so I can save this table properly.
You want to save the dice in the right place.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yes.
So I
Save
mentioned
the
that I
dice
was
in midair.
working on making a giant dungeon for you guys. This isn't it.
Nice.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah, this is just fun Kobold times. I figured I couldn't just be like, oh, you guys head for the Underdark. Poof, now you're in the Underdark. There's got to be something.
There's got to be some bullshit in the way. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like the bullshit in the way of the Underdark is the Underdark.
No, not even to the now. The Mordenkainen book does have a lot of great Underdark stuff in it. There's lots of Drow and Dwergar, and
Yeah, there is actually.
Yeah.
so. Hopefully, everybody can see the tablet.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So the
I
first
don't wanna take
spell
my
you
privacy
guys
check.
found was Scatter.
Yep. By the way, that's a great spell, and I'm going to be using that at some point to ruin, like to kill us all.
It's
What
a
does it
terrible
do? What
spell.
book is this from?
It's in
It's
Xanathar.
in Xanathar.
That's Scatter.
Destil, it's a 6th-level spell that moves people.
Away from you?
Just
You-
wherever.
You
It just
like
moves people.
you basically pick like a bunch. I don't know how many targets, and then you can move them anywhere within like 120 feet of where they were.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought it was. It's what is it called?
Scatter.
The
Have
spell's
you,
called
have you
Scatter.
screen grabbed Scatter? You've got that one down?
No, hold on.
Get my
It's
hands
just,
off of it.
Okay, I got it.
It's dispersal from Stone Soup. That's what I thought.
And this is Spiritual Weapon.
The most spiritual of weapons.
This is,
Move your hands, please. There you
That's
go.
a new
Right.
head item there, and like that's one we haven't seen before.
I will point out, Treble, that you said move your hands and then moved yours directly onto the tablet.
Well, I had already taken the screenshot after everybody moved theirs, so. Do as I say, not as I do. We'll just go with that. I'm done. Thank you
Alright.
very much. I appreciate it.
Experience. 140 experience points all around for 60 chokers and 4 kobolds.
140 or
140.
148? Okay.
140.
Just wondering, how much are the kobolds worth?
It'll make you depressed. So
It's 130 for the chokers because it has to be, or it's 120 because it has to be evenly divisible by 9.
That's probably true, actually.
Yep.
Raazu,
Hey,
I didn't give you no blips. Do you want to make a case for anything?
hmm. A blade can end a life, fear can end an empire. Raazu did frog march Huyan out in front of her minions.
That's true. You definitely did that.
That checks out.
Anything else? Windy,
That's all I got.
I awarded you your ideal. Learning new things is never wasted for your continued interest in cooking. Do you want to make any other cases?
Yeah. I think our place in the world is to take apart what isn't working and make something that is.
Okay.
For my efforts to get the pig people integrated into their village, rather than just kind of dump them off there and say, "All right, good luck."
Okay. Adrex,
Yes,
I
sir.
gave you your class aspect energetic for taking 19 turns in a row underwater against chokers with very little light. So well played there. You want to make another case?
I do.
Okay.
The question is did I do thing really?
Well, make the case, and if you didn't, I'll just yell at you in front of everybody.
You do that anyway. Ideals. It is my responsibility to bring out the good in people.
Okay.
He helped Mr. Afal train up more combat things.
How does that bring out the good in them?
They can fight and protect themselves now, and they don't have to sacrifice children.
So from Adrex's outlook, like that was like an evil but necessary thing that is no longer necessary.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all
You
I
convinced
got.
me.
Birdie, I gave you the accumulation of magical knowledge, etc., 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 for all of your time spent getting that apple tree squared away. You want to make any other cases?
I triggered that. I triggered the trap
You did,
because I thought that was a good idea.
but your flaw does not say setting off traps. It just
Darn.
says setting traps.
Okay. No, I don't.
Setting on/off traps. You gotta fix that.
Red, I gave you your alignment. Survival requires the greatest good for the greatest number for your work in the whole outcome. Attempting to make sure that the greatest number of lizardmen, Mokden, Dragonborn, and Kobolds all survived in relative peace. Orcs, not so much. Do you want to make another case?
No, that's what I had written down.
Okay. We give one blip for the most creative solution in a session.
Brick Road, before we go through this, can you just agree that if you really go back and watch the VOD, because we're giving them all to Destil, all 4 of them.
So, wait, agree to what? You cut out on me there.
If you want to watch the, if you just want to watch the VOD to find the reasons for why we did this, just go back and watch the VOD.
We
Because
have reasons.
Yeah, I want to
We
hear the
have
reasons.
great reasons.
we discussed them.
So why are
I'll just say, I didn't have anything to do with any of this, so.
No, that's
Go
not
for it,
true.
guys.
We gave you a reason for one of them, and you wanted a better reason. You're like, actually, I'm pretty badass.
What is the reason for giving Red the creative blip?
Because it's very creative in this party to look at your character sheet and remember you can spit poison.
It's just written down. What? Okay, why are we giving Red the assist blip? How did he further the party's goals?
This one's pretty genuine. He spent the entire session using the help action. I think he did it like 7 times.
Oh, way more than that.
Yeah.
And why
And
was
also
he?
he
Why
did
was he the
help.
badass?
Because he was breaking us out of the choker grabs left and right. Like he was the leader on that.
And we give one blip for the intangibles.
We give that to Destil because we want him to have 300 experience points.
Because right now Destil is very intangible.
And Red is also walking away with the straw poll as well.
We may or may not have had something.
I didn't vote on. The straw poll wasn't up when we tried to go and stuff the ballot.
So, Raazu, you're taking one blip this week. You're ideal. Windy, ideal and bond, so you've got 2. Adrex, your ideal and your aspect, so you've got 2. Birdie is taking his ideal. Red is taking his alignment plus all of the other blips, so he's taking 6.
And don't forget, we got one earlier. If you haven't,
You did. I did award one.
I
earlier, yes.
already added that one in.
I didn't add that one in.
All right, and when we come back next Sunday,
Sunday.
we have. Is this locked? I'm gonna get rid of this.
Tucker's Kobolds.
Monster Tuck Rally.
And these are worth 300 each right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't
we'll come
see
back.
our.
There's a lot of places for kobolds to hide in here.
like, if this doesn't get you a level, then we'll just have to replace you with somebody else. I think.
Destil, you're supposed to add your experience, not subtract it.
That's a good line to go out on. For the YouTube archive. Dang, McDohl.
All right, that's it. Thanks everybody for playing. I'll be back on tomorrow with some kind of stream. I'm not sure what yet. In all honesty, probably Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise.
What?
And that's it. Peace out, guys. Take it easy.
Later.
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 Peace out.